What a great update. Absolute peak cinema, Wuthering Waves 2.2, also known as Tangled Truth in Inverted Tower. So this video is going to be a PlayStation trophy playthrough of, as you can see on screen right now, it's categorized as DLC Trophy Pack 2, and it's only got 7 trophies, 6 being bronze and 1 being silver. It's quite quick to go through, which is actually the entire point of this video. I wanted more short form content to go with the long form content I've been doing as of late, but still remain true to that typical kind of PlayStation trophy experience you guys are all used to. Anyway, having said all of that, let's now dive into the pop-in. So to start, we get introduced to this character called Kartethia, also known as Fleur de Lis, who gave us our first task, which was to clear the waterway, which involved clearing the Darktide remnants. So we did a lot of gondola riding here, going from point A to point B, but then shortly after, we get introduced to a new mechanic which allows us to invert the world, which just so happens to be the prerequisite for our first trophy pop-in. So in the build up to trophy number 2, we have the pleasure of seeing more dialogue between the MC Rover and Kartethia, and we find out we're heading to this place that is rightfully named
Tower of Salvation, and that's where the first pedestal is located.
Tower of Salvation.
I say rightfully because, my god, the salvation of just not having to ride this gondola anymore. Anyway, so we finally arrive at the Tower of Salvation and we're greeted with a prompt where we have to interact with this anomaly. As we interact with the anomaly, it transforms the room into this golden bookcase spiraled stairway. And I don't know if it was just me, but this entire section, it was short, but it really gave me strong Kingdom Hearts vibes. I think it was a combination of the general aesthetic compounded with the choice of music they used. Anyway, after a short climb, we then had to interact with another thing called the Door of Unity, which sent us to another inverted part of the area, and just so happened to be where our next trophy popped. Where the censorship I am. Pretty sure it's supposed to be the other way around, but whatever, we'll take it. Moving on to trophy number 3, which is probably my favorite trophy out of this entire DLC list. The build up on a narrative level was just so engrossing. So what we had to do is go through these multiple encounters with this echo called Cadanto. He ties really well into Kartethia's story, and his entire MO is that he is bound by obsession till relieved of duty, and after breaking the final purple chain, we not only relieve good old Cadanto of his obsession and duty, but for us as players, it will also pop the No More Cages trophy. So to simplify trophy number 4, it's essentially the overarching questline of the entire DLC. The quest name in particular is the Maiden, the Defier, the Death Crier, and it's the questline you've basically seen throughout this entire video up until this point. Once you get back to town and you speak to Cantarella, who I still need to pull for by the way, you'll hand in the quest and you will receive the trophy Death and Rebirth. So with the main quest line out of the way, I had 3 more trophies left to get, and they were all miscellaneous trophies. At the time of me recording this footage, there was no video guides for these trophies, so I had to do it the old fashioned way and use the old noggin. One of them wasn't too bad, which is the next one we're going to see, but one of them in particular was generally like looking for a needle in a haystack, because the biome that this DLC is set in is quite big and inverted and topsy-turvy, as we've seen. Made it a bit of a nightmare searching around, and we'll get to that in a while. But for now, we're talking about trophy number 5. So what you have to do is find the highest point in Avenolium, which is one of the new biomes in this DLC, and as you can see on screen, I'm kind of looking on my map at where the trigger point for this trophy could potentially be. So I took to the skies to scope out the land a little bit. Side note, we're going to need that flight ability in Huanglong. It's very painful going back there and having to walk around. We need flight in Huanglong, people, we need it. Anyway, I noticed this little spire kind of thing penetrating the skies, and I'm like, that has to be it. So I fly towards it, not knowing if you have to touch it or maybe just get in close proximity. Luckily, it was the latter. As soon as you get close enough, boom, trophy pops. So trophy 6, I kind of just stumbled onto this one. I had an objective in mind. I was going around the world map and I was just doing what you do in Wuthering Waves, which is explore. I was trying to build up my asteroids because, as I mentioned in the video earlier, I'm trying to pull for Cantarella. And in the process of me going around doing challenges and just popping open chests, again, just building up those asteroids for the uninitiated. Asteroids is basically your pool currency for characters on banners. And as I was doing all of this, I noticed on the map there was a grayed out boss silhouette, and I thought, that's probably the boss you need to fight that has Cantarella's materials. So I headed towards the boss, which then had me go down this really long elevator ride, which was kind of reminiscent of Metal Gear Solid 3's ladder loading screen. And then upon getting off the elevator and heading through the circular archway, the game at that point seems to know your own business and what you're there for, and that just so happens to be the trigger point for the next trophy, always another challenge. Alright, final trophy, let's do this. So the trophy we're going for now is called Though the Time Flows By, and the description reads, find the portrait of the blessed maiden that looks newly painted, unaffected by time. I'm specifically reading this trophy out, not just because it's the final one, but because this trophy, if you do not have a guide, is a genuine needle in a haystack. So right now on screen, you're going to see me just aimlessly walking around like a headless chicken, trying to work out what it means. I roughly know it's got something to do with Kartethia, but it's just trying trying to find in this big open biome what it wants us to find. Anyway, after wandering around for like 20 to 30 minutes, I actually stumbled on it. I could not believe it. As soon as I turned left and I saw it, I was like, that's it. I know that's the flipping trophy. Got in close proximity and there we go. Final trophy unlocked. And now I guess comes the call to action, the bit I personally hate, but the bit YouTube seems to love. So yeah, if you made it through the video and you was entertained in any way, shape or form, please do not forget to give the video a thumbs up, massively appreciated. Or if you flat out hate my guts for whatever reason, then feel free to give the video a thumbs down as well. Sad face, I guess we just weren't meant to be. All jokes aside, genuine thank you to everyone who checked out the video. I'm looking forward to seeing what you say in the comments, and I'll catch you in the next one. Stay humble and take care of yourself.